We are approaching Christmas of 2018 as well as 2019. And for some people, this time of the year is very challenging. It's not always because this marks an anniversary of a death or loss of a loved one. Sometimes it's simply loneliness. Um, However, in life, I've learned that sometimes we contribute to our loneliness as well as the time frame in which we are lonely. Being an individual who have really evaluated my life, um, my objective is to stay abreast as to what's going on around me and to really take in consideration how people respond to themselves as well as to others. But regard to relationships, um, being a part of certain dating sites, Black People Meet POF, I'm amused at how a lot of women um, have a tendency to, once you log onto their profile, you feel this level of venting, you know, for the record, and then she go in. I'm not selling for this. I'm not putting up with this, and it's just venting, and that sounds so fresh, like having just come out of a bad situation. That's what it sounds like, and it's like for this next guy who is reading this, he's confronted with this. It's like you can feel it. But then there are also a group of women who feel that a man has to be whole. He has to be complete. Whatever you went through in your childhood, whatever financial challenges you had, I don't want to hear it. In fact, if you don't have everything intact, I'm not your woman. Off the top, this is what's being presented. And the issue that I have with that is that when I look at relationship therapists, counselors, ministers, we live in this time frame where everybody wants to be a boss. Everybody is complete. Everybody is made. And when I look at these three, your minister, your pastor, relationship therapist, counselor, that's what they capitalize off of, that wholesomeness. Although it's something that you would think an individual would strive for, it's so not a reality. Nobody has everything intact. Nobody is complete. Nobody has it all together. And the person that you would like to be in your life, they won't have it all together. I learned that one of the reasons why people cheat, whether it be intercourse or mental, the flirting, whatever, it's because what the person that they're with don't have, somebody else perhaps have it. And what I've learned in life is that you have to accept a person for who they are, meaning that there are attributes, there are certain characteristics that we are drawn to in a person. So we accept them for who they are. But then there's always going to be something that they lack. Therefore, we have to accept a person for who they are not. So you accept a person for who they are as well as for who they are not. And people that haven't matured will always be those who go outside that relationship to find that thing, that quality, that attribute that their significant other don't have. And in essence, what they're trying to do is take one, two, three individuals and combine them into one to make that perfect individual. So the wholesome concept is a myth. Think about a woman, a single woman who has children, perhaps two. One is in middle school, one is in high school. They return home before their mother does. But the mother thinking ahead, so I need to get a key made. Take the key out to Ace Hardware or Walmart. And in layman's term, it's called made, and get this key made. But they utilize the term indent or break the key, because there's a section on the interior section of that lock which is broken, and there's an interior section of that lock which is whole. So the section of the key that wasn't trimmed, wasn't filed down, wasn't broken or indented, that section of the key that is whole, when it's inserted into a lock, it comes in contact with that brokenness of that lock. And the section of that lock which is whole comes in contact with the brokenness of the key. Here you have two pieces that fit And because they fit, they're able to unlock that door for these two teenagers who have returned home earlier than mom would. But in regards to relationships, a woman is going to always carry something from her past. She may be clever at hiding it, but she's scarred. Likewise with a man. We all possess scars of some kind. But what has happened is we have become intoxicated off this wholesome messages, these sermons that these individuals are speaking on. And it still left us desolate. Some of us are still single. Some would say by choice. But who wants to continue to grow old and not share what they've learned in life, share the person that they've become in life, share smiles with a significant other? So I think, before we put people on trial for things that they may have encountered, in their past, in the sense that you take an individual, a guy who has played the field for many years, and you will have some women feel that, well, once a dog, always a dog. But when you take in consideration the word education, deriving from the word educare, it means to bring up or to bring out what's in you. Sometimes we develop things inwardly based on what we've been taught or life experiences. To say this, education is not just experiences. It's not just learning. It is not about what we experience and what we learn, but what we do with it. Maybe this individual has arrived to a point in life where he understands himself. He understands what oneness really means in the sense of a monogamous relationship. And to continue to put a man on trial who is rightfully giving that lifestyle up is wrong. You may have a woman who have had, 4 children by 3 different guys. The last guy had 2 by her. Should she be put on trial? You may have guys who don't fit a certain financial bracket, but he gives his back to somebody every day. So the wholesomeness, this completeness, you got to have it all together, or you got to be surpassing me. It's a myth. And that's one reason why many people find themselves acquainted with loneliness year after year after year. Makes no difference as to, what, New Year's resolutions you make. At some point, we have got to get back in tune with self and stop being driven by any and every message that people campaign on. So the more messages taken into consideration that your brokenness and his brokenness could very well contribute to both of y'all's wholesomeness.